Welcome to the HFLD conference on Climate Finance 2019 in Paramaribo, Suriname. Today we are here with a very interesting gentleman. We had a pleasant talk before this, Dr. Paul Oquist from Nicaragua. He is the Minister of National Policies and the Private Secretary to the President. Did I say that correctly, Mr.
Yes, sir,
Dr.
and thank you for the kind invitation.
You are most welcome. We are very honored to have you here. We are very excited to have you here. And for the conference, Nicaragua is not very known to Surinamese people. Could you tell us a little bit more about Nicaragua?
Well, Nicaragua is in Central America. It's the largest Central American country with 140,000 square kilometers.
Wow.
130,000 if you take out the water of the big lakes. And we have a population of about 6.2 million. There's another million overseas in a diaspora in the US, Costa Rica, Spain. The country has been living off of coffee, meat, milk products, lácteos, and also gold and silver, as well as other agricultural projects, basically.
Wow.
And tourism, which is incipient, but is starting to take off.
And is based on ecotourism, I take it.
Ecotourism, beach tourism. The coast along the Rivas Pacific side has some of the best surfing beaches in the world.
Wow.
It figures in the top 10 of surfing beaches.
Wow.
So the surfers from all over the world go there
To Nicaragua.
to round out their curriculum.
Wow. Wow, very good. You are here as the Minister of National Policies, and we know that Nicaragua has a very strict policy on the forestry and on your preservation of the forests. Could you elaborate more about that?
Okay, well, we have the biggest forests are on the Caribbean coast. And one of the most important things that was done by the government was a law on indigenous land and Afro-descendant land. So the traditional lands were delineated and titled. And so there's 23 communities with 23 territorial governments of the indigenous peoples and Afro-descendant peoples who control their resources. So they control the forests, the greatest part of the forest. And so this has led to community forestry with amazing results. For example, the forest fire damage has been reduced by 90%.
Wow.
Because the community is on top of this, especially on top of not burning to plant, the slash and burn type of agriculture
we have the same,
that's been traditional. And so it's the community pressure not to do that or to stop a fire if someone has started it. The community pressure is what's reduced the forest fires by 90%.
Wow.
They also can have to approve and participate in any project that takes place in their territory. There's also 2 autonomous regions, the Northern Caribbean and the Southern Caribbean, and there's an autonomous parliament elected by them, council, assembly, and that has to approve also the major projects that come into the region. So there's real participation and there's community control. And there are plantations, but if the plantation is in the indigenous area, there has to be an agreement between the territorial government and the people who want to do the plantation. I'll give you one example. There's a Vietnamese company that's taking resins out of the Caribbean pine, which is the southernmost pine in the world. As a matter of fact, it's so valuable that a kilo of seeds is worth $400.
Wow.
So you don't want to sprinkle those pine seeds on your breakfast cereal. But it's a very valuable resource, and they're taking out the naval resins and turpentine, the chemistry that is associated with pines. And as I said before, this is the most tropicalized pine in the world.
Wow. Wow. That is...
But we also have the Dalbergia family of rosewood, of granadillo.
Yeah.
And the granadillo is what the xylophones and the marimbas are made of, because it has tonality. And it's also the guitars are made out of rosewood.
Wow.
So we have teak also. Some of the plantations are teak. We have Norwegian investors in teak. And they don't need to be explained why the project takes 20 years, because the Scandinavian pines that they have, or that my father cut in the dark in his youth in northern Sweden, my father was Swedish,
Wow.
they take 120 years to grow to maturity. So 20 years to them is a good
That's
deal.
nothing.
These are families that have been involved in forestry for maybe 500 years.
Wow.
And there's a myth that they don't have blood in the veins anymore, but sap.
That's probably right. We in Suriname, we probably have this similar challenges. Also to earn income from our forests versus the preservation, etc. How do you go about that when?
Well, we've had a very active agricultural frontier.
Yeah.
So we have 1,600,000 hectares of degraded land. And so we're very active in the Bond Challenge and the 20 by 20 initiative, which are for reforesting degraded land.
Ah.
And the difference is between the barren hillside and a mountain that has forestry, agroforestry, silvopastoral pursuits, reserve areas within the mountain. And we're going about this in several ways. One, it's not only trees that are counted as reforestry, but also bamboo, which grows faster.
Yes.
It's a grass,
It's a grass. Yes.
but it captures CO2,
Much more than trees even.
and it lasts
Yes.
a long time. It's semi-perennial.
That's right.
And we're also including coffee and cacao
Ah.
and rubber plants, because they all do the same thing.
Yes.
But it has a big importance in the economic impact, because the small farmer to wait for 20 years to realize his trees is asking too much. But with the coffee and cacao, in 3 to 5 years, there's a
Yes.
return coming. And with the bamboo, even faster,
That's
there
right,
can be
that's
a
right.
return coming.
I-
And there's some of technologies in which the bamboo can be made into charcoal, and the charcoal can then be sold, which has a good ecological effect because it lowers the pressure on the natural forest to make charcoal out of wood.
Wow.
And
Yes, that is
firewood
exactly
is one
right.
of our main sources of loss of CO2,
Wow.
of emissions.
Yes. I think there's very much we can learn from Nicaragua. You're so advanced in all those things already. And that's exactly what this conference is about, to share the knowledge, to share the experiences. And we thank you very much for your
Well,
participation.
this has been an excellent conference. I congratulate the government of Suriname, its president, Buttersi, the First Lady, who just made a very nice presentation, and the ministers involved, the Minister of, the Ambassador of Climate, for an excellent conference. It's been dealing with very real subjects. It's not formal presentations on formal subjects. The real problems are coming
looking
out,
for practical
and there is a very
solutions.
useful sharing of information and experiences. And I thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.